Good morning, laddies. My name is Chaz, and welcome to Jurassic Park. I'm joking. So Zuko, or not. So this is what if Sidewipe or Sidewiper was in My Hero Academia. Yeah, and this is the Sidewiper or Sideswipe, I like to call it. So, and he has a sister. Yeah, her. This is what her name is. So, yeah. And their mother, her, is her. I know this looks almost identical to the sister one, but yeah. So she's the mother, and yeah. So, and she's the daughter of her. So yeah, they look so much alike. And the so their father was some other person, but and Zook or not okay. Sideswipe has a special gift. Like basically it has powers of infinity and zero, and he talks to the creatures like of the night thing. Basically he could talk to her, him, even a demon thing. Yeah, plant demon. And it too. So yeah. So basically, yeah. But his quirk is similar to his sister's, mixed with yeah, Toga was insanity. The side effect thing that he uses it. Yeah, I'm making him overpowered in this what if. So yeah. So let's begin actually so when they were born, the mother and father of them knows that their son would be called Sideswipe, and the other would be this. So yeah, but they didn't notice that when he's talking to himself, or when let's say age of 4, when they had their quirks examined, as he talks to his imaginary friends. They're not imaginary friends. They're the basically like part of him. He's talking to him like kind of like talking to himself a lot. So then the mother decides, all right, if you're talking too much or talking to yourself, as she took away his memories, and of course she abandons him. Him. Hmm? So as the so they go to UA at age of 15. So the zombie girl, her, that's inside of his body, was like in her ghost form. She was sat right next to him as he was like tearing up. Um, as a homeless man walks past and says, "Hey kid, I are you having like those moments? You might get home." So yeah, but then what is your or they of course he says to them, "What is your quirks?" Well, all of us have like different quirks, but how about you? Huh. Well, the my quirk is similar to my or is the illusion quirk, but there's something else. Like what? Well, I feel like I have the power to talk to the undead creatures. If you see me talking to myself, that's why. Oh, okay. As the flames went, like, yeah, so he ends up becoming more like in as if they and I show you who they are, sure. As they see or as they use or he uses his power, as they see a beautiful girl, oh, with black eyes, zombie girl, a gentleman, and a demon, and a giant moon-sized dragon. As they're like, holy crap, bruh. Are these all your friends? My goodness. You're the... Yeah. I might be alone for a while. With just me and them. And the other homeless person says, you're a pretty strong fella, aren't you? You have a rare gift. You're very special. As as he says this, because of course, he says no one would judge you on your quirks, but those powers and like, what else do you have? Well, I have powers of infinity and zero. That's what they keep calling it. Yeah. It's as he's clenching his arm. Sometimes I don't even know if it's a curse or a blessing to have these powers. As he looks away, because he doesn't even know himself anymore. And the homeless person says to him that it's it is a blessing that we have a most powerful one. As now the 15 that he goes to UA instead of the typical hers school. So he ends up joining UA. And he becomes class 1A. And yeah, as he's very quiet person. But so yeah, I'm skipping the ball throw in heroes versus villains. Villains and yeah. So but one day or like after of course the boys wanted to ask him, "Hey, what's your power? Or what is your quirk?" Mine? Illusion. It's like everything else, but my illusions are a little bit crazy. Literally. Or actually, he was so silent, meant. Yeah, so he walks away. As silver haired girl really likes the movies that are like, as she notices or something's up with him because she has that feeling of the, I forget the name of it, but she really wants to be his girlfriend, but she's too embarrassed to say it. Yeah. As he's just. And those mythical creatures can control his body too. So they. And he. Or so Mr. Izawa knows that him. So he asks him about, okay, confess the beans, okay? Or whatever that saying goes. The spill the beans. Okay. Should I tell him? As he looks at himself. Or he's actually looking at the ghost version of Zombie Girl that he could only see as she nods her head. As he says, you know my quirk was, or is, illusion, right? Yeah. But that's not all. No. I have the power of infinity and zero, and I can talk to the undead creatures. As Mr. Ozawa says, huh, you're kidding, right? No. When I say that, it's literally the truth. As he didn't believe at him until he turns and looks at her and tells her that it's your turn to talk. As he's like, okay? As she goes inside him, as his body starts to transform into her. Yeah. As she speaks, as she gets up, and she shakes Mr. Ozawa's hand, and she introduces herself as Zombie Girl. Nice to meet you, Mr. Ozawa. As Mr. Ozawa's like, okay. As her body changed into her, as they were like, all of them properly introduced themselves as like, as Mr. Ozawa was like, so this is your powers, right? Is this an illusion? No, it's actually my powers. As he goes back to the human form, his original form, as he says, I was born with it, with this much power. And Mr. Ozawa walks over as he says, you might be a very strong fella. So, as he says, if you see me start talking to myself, or my arm like gets whacks me, it's one of them wanted to slap me so hard. Okay? Or wants to talk, okay? Okay. That makes sense. As he hides that ability really well. Because one, he doesn't want his friends to end up abandon him the homeless people did. Mm? He doesn't remember his own family. He doesn't even remember any of them. So yeah, whoops. Where is it? There it is. So yeah, he ends up um after the so let's say USJ went similar to canon, but then as the as a vampire girl allowed him to use her eyes to see as he sees she could feel the negative energy of the villains as he wore shaders. You know, to make him, but they thought he was pretending to be asleep, but then he's as he was so quiet that even some of them are like, is he dead? As he spoke, I could still hear you. Hang on, those sunglasses. We're inside the bus. No. As he says, as Mr. Ozawa whispers into his ear of, are you having... Can you tell me? Sure. As he comes out with... As he takes off his sunglasses, as he lifts his head up to look at Mr. Ozawa, and his eyes, like his blue, beautiful eyes, and was replaced with black, like her eyes. And here, her eyes. Do you see it? Them? Yeah. So, as he doesn't want to, like, make him feel embarrassed. Yeah. As he says, better not go in there. Can my little demon friend go in and lure them out? You're just a student. What do you mean them? As he tells them, or tells Mr. Ozawa, there's going to be the ambush of villains. We'll be waiting for them. And he... So then... Yeah. So Mr. Ozawa goes in, and then it triggers the... And like that scene, like this, huh? Or actually, they went in anyways. So then it triggered. Then it happens like normally. But Zuko or Zombie Girl tells Sideswipe that the Mr. Ozawa is gonna die from that Nomu. As the demon says, let him die. Or not. Let's save him. As he says, sure, as anything over? Sure. As he transforms into, or he quietly says to himself that. As a villain, high-end villain, was about to stab him in the back. But then he turns around real quick and kicks the villain's side so hard, bam! As he transforms into a demon, as the demon creature that you see on your screen went full down, and he says, as the Nomu was about to punch does that full punch to Mr. Aizawa, but then the plant demon creature came out of nowhere, grabs or blocks the Nomu's attack, as he says, "You made a grand mistake, my friend." As Sideswipe tells the demon, "Go ahead and eat that Nomu, or aim for his brain." Okay. As it ate the brain. Yeah. As the Nomu died. Right then and there. So, yeah. Then after the USJ thing, then the 10 months, then the sports festival thing. Sideswipe is the fastest. So, when I say the fastest, he is the... First, let's say there's a race thing. And he says, my favorite. As everyone was watching, including like their mother or his mom, that didn't really care if they just wanted, or she just wants to watch a sports festival, to be completely honest. As he says, as he runs across, he was at the finish line way before his start, or like before people even got out of the starting line. He was done in about 0.1 seconds. Yeah. That's pretty fast. Like, zoom! Done. As he was like zooming right through. As he's like was like having a drink. As a vampire girl, I'm gonna sip a tea with my little friend. As he grabs a soda pop. Before, or he bought it and then, yeah. So he drinks a soda, as they really enjoy, or as a demon, as she tells him that This must be a blessing for you, said Big Brother. As because they are like they all talk to him, they are referring him as brother. Like Big Brother. Yeah. So, yeah, it's basically like 6 of them inside one body. So, then usually, then the cavalry battle, I don't know, his team won, and then his, during the fight one, his opponent was against Todoroki. Endeavor tells him, please wait for part 2.